Hello, Troy here with SFP Nostalgia Motorsports, and today we're going to be talking about project cars. Some examples of what to look for and why every young adult needs one in their driveway. The project car. Sometimes even more important than what to buy is when to buy. And if you're a young adult under the age of 25, I think the time to buy one is right now. Studies have shown that once you hit age 25 and older, you start to assess risk differently than you did when you were in your teens and your early 20s. So how does this play into hot rodding and your first project? I bought my first project when I was a teenager, and I'll tell you that all of my friends that purchased their project cars before they were 25, they ended up being some of the better fabricators and better hot rodders from a performance standpoint when they got into their late 20s and early 30s. And it's not necessarily, I think, because of that time frame or the length of time they were working on their cars, but more so what they were able to learn when they were young adults, because they were willing to take the risk. So taking the risk is where you learn. You're not afraid to fail. And that's why I think all young adults who want an older car should do it. Now's the time to do it. So what should you be looking for? What should you buy? I always tell people that you should look at platforms rather than specific cars. So what exactly is a platform? Well, I have a 69 Chevelle. That's a similar platform to a Skylark, an Oldsmobile Cutlass, and also a Pontiac Le Mans. Therefore, if the Chevelle is out of your reach as far as how much it costs, look at some of the alternatives that are of the same platform. Another example would be with Mopars. If you really have your mind set on a Roadrunner, look at some of the lower models. Look at a Satellite or look at a Coronet. So look at Dodge and Plymouth. Don't just be stuck on that one particular make and model. Another example would be a lot of kids want, or young adults I should say, want Mustangs. Sometimes Mustangs are just out of reach. So look at some alternatives there. Look at cars that might be similar but cheaper. If you look at older Mustangs, like let's say a 65 Mustang, don't rule out Comets, don't rule out Falcons. All of these make good project cars. Another thing to really look for when you're looking into what project car to buy, try to find something where they still reproduce the parts and they're readily available. This Buick here, for some people, they'd think, oh, this is an awesome project car. However, I don't think this is good for a kid. Let's say a 17, 18-year-old kid who wants their first project car. This probably isn't the best for them because of the parts availability being an issue. Also, you want to look at something with what direction do you want to go with the project. Do you want to have a street strip screamer? Do you want to have a corner carver? What do you want to do with it? If the car has a 6-cylinder, can you swap an 8-cylinder easily? For example, a Mercury Comet, for example, which I absolutely love. A lot of those, they come with a 6-cylinder. Those are the affordable ones. In order to put an 8 in them, you have to do some steering component swaps because the 6-cylinder oil pan will interfere with 8-cylinder steering linkage. That way, you have to do that conversion basically at one time. When you do your V8 swap, you're also swapping out all of your steering. Other cars like that would be Mopars. Mopars come with a K-frame, the front cross member. So you have to be aware of what cross member you need for your particular goals. So if you have a Slant 6 in a Dart or a Valiant, which are perfect project cars, You have to think about, okay, what K-member do I need in this thing to put in whatever particular engine I want to meet my goals. Now they do have engine swap mounts for some applications, but other applications it just might not work. So that's something you have to think about. The other thing it comes down to is price. I hear from so many people that you can't find classic cars anymore cheap. Well, you can. You just need to know the right place to look. And to tell you the truth, if you're just hunting for project cars on Craigslist, you're probably doing a big disservice to yourself. Craigslist is not what it used to be. The deals just aren't out there. And I blame some of this on the auctions that are always shown on TV, which I love to watch, but they blow some of these prices out of proportion. Everybody thinks that they have a cream of the crop car, when really it's just a good candidate for a project. I gave $600 for my Chevelle, and that was years ago. This was back in the 90s. I gave around $1,100 for the Buick, and that was a while back too. But the cars are still out there. So what I'm going to do is, starting today, I am going to look for a project car that I think would be a good fit for any teenager in high school or a young adult under the age of 25 to get their feet wet in this hobby. And so I'm going to do it myself, and I'm going to, let's think about this. I'm going to put a price cap on this thing of under $2,000. So I'm going to find a project that I will build on this channel, and I'm going to purchase the initial project for under $2,000. I can't promise you what that project is because I don't even know yet. But maybe it'll be a roller, but I'm going to try to get something that runs. And maybe I'll look for, it doesn't have to be a GM, but I'd like to have a Nova at some point in my fleet. And those are really easy for engine swaps. And I do like darks also. But I don't want to rule out Comets, and I don't know, maybe even a Falcon if I find the right one. But all of those cars are good project cars. So I promise you, right now, I am going to start looking for a project car under $2,000, and you will see it here first, and I'm going to prove to everybody that you can still find projects cheap and build them cheap. So thank you everyone for watching. Stay tuned. I don't know how long this is going to take. It could take me a few months to find something that I really want, but you'll be on the journey with me. So thanks everyone for watching, and take care.